Anna.
And I'm Megan, and welcome to When Creativity Knocks. We are here live at the Maker Faire in San Mateo, California, and we have a very special guest with us today.
A very special guest.
Why don't you tell everyone who this handsome young man is?
This is my dad, Joe Busselman.
Papa!
Hello, everybody.
So, Papa, why don't you tell everybody what you're doing here with us today?
Well, today my daughter asked me to bring my walking sticks along, and these come from Alaska, these particular ones. And it was from my daughter and her son going to Alaska.
It's my baby sister.
The other ones, because you know this girl is not going to Alaska.
And they brought them back, and they asked me, could I do something with them? And I said, yeah, I'll carve some stuff in. So I use a hot iron. I use a hot iron, and I burn all these different figures in there.
Okay, so Dad, how do you get it started though? Because I see you have a wood branch here. And so tell me how you get it, how you do it.
What happened to that?
So step one is basically when you're out, you can pretty much just find a walking stick that's going to be to the height that's going to work for you. I mean, it can be any stick, right?
When you're looking for a walking stick, you find one that's pretty sturdy, like this one. And if it's got a curve on it, it's fine, but most of them don't. Some of them you'll find with a branch, which is nice. You can put your thumb right in there.
Okay.
So to start them, I always peel back the bark like that. As you peel back the bark, it leaves it nice and white and clean like that. But if you happen to have a stick and you're not ready to use it, I came up with this idea. What happens when you get a piece of wood for your walking stick, and if you're not ready to do anything with it and it dries out, it's too hard to peel off the bark.
Okay.
So you take a PVC pipe, roughly 2 inches diameter, you put a cap on the bottom, fill up with water, drop your stick in there, and let it sit for a couple of days. The bark will swell up, where we'll say we already did that for 2 days. We take our knife, and now we can peel the bark off real simple and easy. These are all branches. You cut them off, and then use a hasp, and you file them down, but you leave enough so that I call them beauty marks, which you'll see on here, down here especially.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So they look neat. That would be part of your decoration on your thing.
Okay.
So once we get this all peeled, now we say this has already been peeled, and this is the stick that we just finished peeling. Now we start drawing whatever objects you want to put on here. This happens to be for the handle.
Do you just draw with a pencil, Dad?
Yeah, this one I do with a pencil. I already started this one, I had it completed. And up on the top I make a mountain scene, and I put little trees up and around there.
Aww.
Very cute, Papa.
I know where I get my cleverness from.
Then I drill a hole through here. When I drill a hole through there, that's when I put this leather strap through there. And this is what it comes out to be. So when you're walking, you can't lose your stick. You grab it.
Now, Papa, let's talk really quickly a bit more about the designs that you've done on the sticks.
Yeah, okay.
So, what is a way, if maybe someone's not good at just, free sketching on the stick, is there another way they can adhere an image on there?
Yes, there is. First of all, you'll go down and buy tracing paper at your local store. And then you have your carbon paper. So when you trace it, whatever you want to trace, say we're tracing a bird. And when we trace the bird, you have your tracing paper, you got your carbon paper, and then as you peel it off completely, which we'll do right now, we'll peel it all off. I'll get it.
So he just did it on a board so you could see it better. You would do this really small on the stick.
And there's the bird.
Very nice.
Very good.
Now we could take the burning tool and we could burn the whole thing into it, the image. And then you could use this as a plaque in your bedroom or whatever you like to do. This is just one. But mainly I do the walking sticks.
But this is like a nice alternative if you want to do something to keep in the house.
Right.
Okay, so why don't you show us how you actually burn on the walking stick once you have all your images on there.
Okay, on this one, this was what already completed with the design.
Okay.
Okay, I got the design already on this one. So I come along and I take the burning tool and I'll burn in the straight lines.
Now I notice while you're doing that, you're putting a decent amount of pressure on there, but not too much.
That's right.
But just enough to follow your guidelines. And I don't know how well you can see it, but as you go, the image starts to just get a bit darker, and then that way you know you're doing exactly what you were trying to do.
And you're going back over your line again, Dad, till you get it to the darkness you want it.
Yeah, that's correct.
Very therapeutic, I might add.
So here's how dark it gets to you when you start. When you're over here, it's kind of light, so you go over it once more, and then it becomes darker.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you come over, you keep going all the way around until you get like this thick.
One? Okay.
And this is what you'll have when you complete it.
So we don't want you to burn
It
this.
is so windy, I can't even tell you. I'm like swallowing my hair, there's things flying.
So we're just using a wood burner. You can buy those at any craft and hobby store. And but we actually had pulled an old one I had from the 80s or something, and Dad, that's when he got started with them.
Don't date yourself. We've already talked about this. Now, Papa,
I was a baby then.
Let's just talk about your final piece. I notice here, if we show the finished version of the stick, you've put a rubber stopper on the bottom.
Yes, you go down to any hardware store and you get the rubber stoppers.
Okay.
And the reason I put a rubber stopper on there is for two reasons. One, you don't splinter the ends of your walking stick.
Oh, okay.
Good idea.
It keeps it from wearing out. And secondly, it's rubber, and if you're walking up in the hills where there's a lot of rock and gravel, it's something to grip on.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you one last question. When you're all done burning the images into your wood and all that, do you have to put any kind of a sealant or anything over it to make it stick, or it's just ready to go?
Okay, this one was very light looking. So what I took, a very light stain.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's the lightest you could get, just enough to cover it up. And then after you finish that, you use Verifane,
Okay.
which is
Like a little varnish.
it's a varnish.
Okay.
It comes in the spray can. You just
Oh, you
spray
just
it
use
all
the spray
down.
varnish. Oh, okay. Yeah, I
use
know
the
that.
spray varnish. It works a lot better. It's nice and smooth. If you use a brush,
And
it's
it
lumpy.
doesn't run that way too.
It
if
doesn't,
you use the
yeah.
spray.
So-
It's a good finishing touch.
And like I said before,
Make sure
just
you get that
make
on there.
sure you drill the hole in, put the strap on so you can grab a hold of it and you got it.
And you're ready to go hike in Alaska.
Yeah, and if you fall down, that's what this is.
That stick's going with
keep
you.
with you.
Well, Papa, thank you so much for showing us this great project. Now at least we know where all these creative ideas come from, huh, Mom?
I know. My dad's very, very creative. I got all of it from him. Well, we'll give a little bit to my mom because she could do cake decorating.
Well, he could go at this all day. So you know what we always say, that when creativity knocks,
Open the door.